Hiya, welcome to this video on drawing pie charts. Okay, so you're going to need to make sure you've got a protractor, you're going to need a pen, pencil, ruler, and you might want a calculator as well. That's completely left up to you. So a pie chart is the circular graph, the one that looks like pie, and we're going to cut it into slices, and each slice is going to be relative to the number of people that want it. So you'll see I've got my table here. Not every table you've given has a third column on it. You might need to draw that one in yourself. So what we're going to do, we're going to work out the number of degrees per person. So the first thing I need to do is how many people are actually involved within this game, sports club, whatever it happens to be. Now I'm going to use my calculator, okay, just to save a little bit of time. You don't have to, you can do all this in your head if you want. So if I add up the numbers that are there, I have got 90 people in total, okay. So I've got to work out how I'm going to fit 90 people inside this circle. Now we know that there's 360 degrees inside a circle, okay, in a full turn. If I was to allocate those 360 degrees to the 90 people, that's a divide sign by the way, then that is going to tell me that there are 4 degrees per person. Okay, so every single person has 4 degrees of space in this circle. So for the football people, if there's 25 of them and they have 4 degrees a person, I'm going to times that by 4, telling me that the football section is 100 degrees. Netball, I'm going to do the same principle. I've got 15 people with 4 degrees per person, so I'm going to multiply that by 4, and that's going to give me 60 degrees. Tennis, I have 30 people, 4 degrees per person, so that's telling me I've got 120 degrees. And hockey, I have 20 people, 4 degrees per person. So again, if I'm timesing all of these by 4, then that tells me 80 degrees. That's kind of the easy bit done. Now we've actually got to worry about drawing the angles. So you'll see that I've got the centre of my circle marked and I've drawn a line. Quite often this line is vertical. It doesn't matter where it is, it's just telling you where to start. Always good to draw in your starting line. So the first angle I'm going to draw is football at 100 degrees. So I'm going to take my protractor and I'm going to lay it on. You'll see that the cross is in the centre, okay, on top of that dot, and I've got 0 just here, and I'm going to measure round to 100 degrees. Okay, I'm just going to put a little dot, a little mark, and I'm going to join that up. Okay, you'll see I've matched that to the dot, and I'm just going to draw a line only to the edge of the circle, and I'm going to label this as football. Really important that you label your diagram, because if you're then asked later on to do some comparisons with them, you need to know which section was which, and it helps the examiner. Right, the next one I'm going to draw is 60 degrees. So I'm now going to lay, now the mistake a lot of students do is they'll measure 60 degrees from here, and as you can see they're all going to sit on top of each other if I do that. What I need to do is turn my protractor so that 0 is now on the line that I've just drawn. Now I'm going to measure my 60 degrees, which is going to be just here. And again, I've just put a tiny little dot, and I'm going to join that up. Okay. Again, only to the edge of the circle, and I'm going to label that as netball. I'm going to turn my protractor again, so that the cross in the centre, and 0 is on the line I've just drawn. And now I'm going to draw 120 degrees, which is just there, okay, 0 all the way around. And again, I'm going to join that up, only to the edge of the circle, and I'm going to label that as tennis. And if I've done my job correctly, the last one should automatically measure 80 degrees, which it does, okay. So, hockey. Now you normally get 2 degrees plus or minus. What that means is if you drew an angle of 101 degrees, then you're okay. Alright, but just be careful, because if you do that for 4 or 5 sections, your last section is going to be too small. So just be wary of that, but you normally get about 2 degrees above or below what the actual angle should be. Let's have a good look at another one then. Right, so if we have a look at this one then, we've got favourite foods this time. And again, my first step is to total up these people here, and it should come to 120 if you check that. So I'm going to do 360 divided by 120. That is going to tell me how many degrees per person, which is 3 degrees per person. So again, I'm going to take this value and times it by all of these angles. Okay, which should give me angles of 63, 45, 192, 42 and 18. Okay. Again, I'm now going to start drawing protractor on, and the first angle I'm drawing is 63, so just there, and join it up. Doesn't matter if you put the angle in or not, that's your choice. Okay, turn your protractor, lay it along the line, and measure your next angle, which is going to be 45, and join it up. And keep going round. So keep going round. So now we're going to do the next one. So this one we're measuring is 192. Now the problem with 192 is that it's too big for the protractor. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to draw the other two, and then the 192 should be what's left. So the next one I'm actually going to draw is chocolate. I'm going to draw 42 next. Okay. And then I'm going to draw the lettuce at 18 degrees. It's quite a small one, but it works. And then that leaves me with 192 for this one here, which is the cake. Okay, so you can do them in any order you want, and then it leaves the cake section just there. Just make sure you label which one's which so the examiner knows which one you're on about. And that's going to work for everything. So the steps you need to take: add up the number of people, divide 360 by the number of people to tell you the degrees per person, times that number by each of the number of people, and then measure your diagram, making sure you turn the protractor every time so they don't all sit on top of each other. Remember, they need to form a full circle, not fit into part of a circle. Okay? Good luck!